What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Bree Free. Is me. If you're new to the channel, hey. If you're a friend to the channel already, hey, friend. As you know, on this platform, I discuss self-care, self-love, healing, how to get to your true and authentic self, what that encompasses, okay, what that means to you. If you're on this journey of self-discovery, healing, finding yourself, I'm proud of you. I just want to say that. I just want to say that I am proud of you. And if you know anyone that is also on this journey or in this season of finding themselves, please share my YouTube page with them, because in some stage of their life, they're going to definitely need to use these videos as a tool to come back on, because yeah, I want to give y'all as much information as possible and give y'all advice or encouragement on the things that have helped me through this journey that I am still on, by the way, because like I said, this stuff is not a one-time thing. You're going to always be learning. You're going to be always in a season of unlearning some stuff and discovering more about yourself. All right. I cover a variety of topics that just may be helpful to you. And again, depending on where you are in the season of your life, some of this stuff may help you. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So let's get into today's topic, y'all. Oh, for the longest, I have considered myself the strong friend. And now that I think about it, I'm wondering if I gave that title to myself, or did I allow other people to give me that title, or that is the title that I've accepted to not show my weaknesses. And truthfully, I feel like it's a combination of all three, because that character, that strong woman, that strong friend was born out of a lot of things. So being the product of my environment, of chaos, confusion, calamity, that simply made the characteristics in me very, very resilient, right? I'd also say just kind of always being the go-to friend for everyone, the one that always had a solution. That also made me the strong friend. And then just also me never showcasing my true feelings. So I think I've always had this straight face with a lot. I have this straight face. I rarely ever wear my heart on my sleeve. I rarely ever cry in front of people. I always just go behind closed doors and, cry my eyes out. And I just always find myself just, again, rarely ever, expressing my emotions. I'm always giving other people a shoulder to cry on. And I think that is both good and bad, because when you're always the shoulder to cry on, people don't assume that you need a shoulder to cry on too. They think because your outward appearance is that of a strong person, you kind of self-soothe, or you fix your own issues. You really don't go to anyone for any guidance. Well, let me tell you something. That is far from the truth. And that is why I am eliminating that need to be the strong friend. Child, I'm going to need you. I'm gonna help you, yes. But I can only help you so far until you have to help yourself. All right. I can be your supportive friend, your encouraging friend, but understand to look at me, look at my situations, be aware to that, and say, you know what? Maybe today she needs a shoulder to cry on. Maybe today she needs someone to be strong for her and give her words of encouragement. And I want you to truly be mindful and aware of your friends that really don't call to ask you for any favors. They don't call, or they don't cry on your shoulders. I think it is imperative that you, because someone looks strong on the outside, I think you also have to just realize some people mask things a lot better than others. I know some people that can just either cry on command, or everything under the sun bothers them, and then they have to just be able to go and confide in someone, or just, need that shoulder. I am not one of those friends, but I'm gonna tell you right now, just because you don't see the outward tears, please don't assume that inside I am not tearing up or building up some form of like anxiety or something. Just ask. And I want to say this: ask that to all your strong friends, the one that is always deemed the reliable one, the one that always seems to have the solution, fix all the problems, the one that always, offers their shoulder to cry, or their home for you to come into, or a hug, whatever. Please talk to those friends. I think the third reason as to why I maybe accepted being the strong friend or the strong person is because, I just always thought that like crying and being vulnerable and was weak. I really did. Let me tell y'all something. Being vulnerable, people, crying is not weakness. You know what that's called? It's called being human, acknowledging that you are not a robot, okay? You have all these emotions in you that you do need to let out at times. Yes, I've never wanted to cry in front of people, but I'll tell you in a situation in which I really realized, like, Brunette, you don't have to be this strong person. Like, you don't. You have support there. Just ask, because some people just don't know. Some people may not be curious to ask. Some people just assume that you just got it all together because of the image that you portray. But I'm here to tell you today, stop that. So, roughly, I want to say, was it 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was at my family. We got together for Christmas, and we were staying at this house, and that day, like, my uncle was sick, and I was feeling some way about that because I'm not used to seeing him sick. I'm always used to seeing him being on his feet, being super strong, talking. But at this time, he's not talking as much. He's sick. Coronavirus is just kind of running rampant. So we just don't know. And I'm just like, okay, God, get him better, get him better. But I didn't want to worry or show that worry, so that way, it would cause more angst. It would cause more like, I didn't want to bring down the mood. So I was like, you know what? It's being encouraged, being strong, being prayerful. And the one of the reasons that like bothered me the most, or that brought about certain emotions, is because my aunt and uncle, my aunt was there too. They've been married for a very, very long time. I'm pretty sure they've weathered all types of storms together, right? So I didn't know she's seen them in seasons. But because of the coronavirus thing, I was kind of like, no, this is different. This is a different thing to navigate. And I know, like, whenever my uncle would go to the room, or kind of like stay away from family and stuff like that, or be quiet, like, I was always kind of like paying attention to my aunt, because I know she had to be a strong person. And I'm just like, God, I want to help. I want to like make things right. I want to make things right. Let me tell you something. There was nothing that I can do to make things right other than just being there like everybody else was, to support, encourage, see if there's anything that I could do and that was needed. That was one start of the trip. When it came to like a day of us, or the night of us getting together, and my uncle was actually starting to feel better, he came down and he said a prayer, and I just broke down. I broke down because that was the first time in the many days that we were there that I saw him get his energy back up, and that I saw him being and feeling well. And I was like, yes, thank God, because I was already thinking, my mind was out going all types of places, okay? And I was like, thank you, Jesus, that he is doing well. And thank God my auntie is standing next to him, and I'm like, thank God. But I also looked around to just kind of see all the faces, and I realized each person there had someone to depend on. Now, mind you, I'm with my family, so obviously that means I have people to depend on too, right? But I wasn't looking at it like that. I just was like, man, you know, my cousins, they have a significant other. You know, the kids, they have their parents. I was the only one that was there. I had no kid. I had no spouse. I had no parent. And that just like brought me to tears, because I was like, everyone here has a support system. Once they leave here, they all still have someone to go home to take care of them in case they get sick, in case this, in case that. Like, they all have someone. Granted, I am there in this moment to help them if they need. I said, but man, when my doors close behind me, I just have myself. I can very well call and reach out to everyone, but I was like, at the end of the day, I feel like I just have myself. And I know in some way that may seem like playing the victim. It's not. It's just me kind of speaking out in the whole being the strong person. I think in that moment when I cried, because I cried, but I got up and I left the room to cry. Because, see, I didn't even want my family to see me in that moment be tearful, you know, because it was just like, it was just a lot of stuff. It was just a lot to process in. I got up and I cried, you know, and again, like, my family is like the most amazing group of people, and they will love on you immensely. But I think in that moment, I just was like, I'm just tired of being the strong one. I'm tired of carrying my own weight all the time, constantly. I wish I had a parent to offload this to. You know, I wish I had like a sibling, a good sibling to offload this to, you know, my worries. I don't always need help in the sense of financial, but I was like, it'd be nice to have an ear to listen. It'd be nice to have a shoulder, you know, to lean on when, God, I'm not gonna cry, when things are rough. Now, granted, I am someone that I self-soothe and I run away to fix my own issues rather than letting people in to help me fix my issues, right? So that can also come as a reason of my own doing as to why I again am portrayed as a strong person. Being a strong friend, I was like, I'm done. I think in that moment, that's when I realized, again, with all my family being around, I had to stop putting up that front. I had to stop being the strong one. I had to eliminate or release the need to keep up this facade of I am okay, nothing is wrong with me. Cause listen, we all fall short. We all come with things that, you know, tug at our heartstrings or hurt us. Listen, if I cut myself, I'll bleed, and so will you. Superman even has his own weakness, and that's a fictional character. But even Superman has his own weakness. And it's just like, if everybody else, or the people that I think that are so strong, have their own weaknesses, you know, I'm like, why don't I think that I have my own? Why don't I think that I'm not worthy of just saying, you know, I need help? And I'll tell you what, it's the pride and it's the ego. That's the thing. Like, I'm too prideful to ask for help. You know, the ego is too inflated for me to be like, you know, owning that I need the help. And I'm gonna tell you this now, I am not about that. When I decided to go on this journey, I said that I would express myself and be honest about all things, if they bothered me, if they didn't. Now, obviously, I still disclose what I want, what I don't. But I think when it comes to me being overwhelmed, I have to be able to tell someone, hey, I'm overwhelmed. Can you help me with this? If I am mad about something, I cannot just shut my voice and say, you know what, I'll deal with it later. I'll deal with it on my own. I'll go in a corner and cry, or I'll go in a corner and self-soothe myself. I have to tell someone this, because I tell you, and not telling someone this you build this up. This becomes a pile. This becomes something that you keep adding on to as time goes on. And you know what? That starts to affect your health, especially your mental. So now I no longer adopt the I need to be strong. And I am going to tell someone if I need help, I'm going to tell you. I don't want to say like being a strong woman is a badge of honor that I want to wear. Am I resilient? Yes. Can I handle my own? Absolutely. But if I am going to ever get into a relationship, I want you to know that, listen, I can do it, but I need you to help me do it too. You know, and I think this is why I emphasize so much on like getting to know yourself and being authentic and being truthful in who you are. You know, you are not weak. You're not considered weak because you need help. You're letting down that pride. You're letting down that ego. You're actually fully surrendering to God, which you are supposed to do. I think like trying to control it by being strong is not allowing God to work in you and to work on the areas that He needs to. Because you cannot keep up these things for so long until one day they're finally going to come crashing down on you. So I say all this to say, like, had I would not had that moment on Christmas time with my family, I think till this day, I would have probably kept up that strong image. I definitely would have kept up the strong image. And who knows what I would have done to myself? Like, who knows? You know what I said? Because all that stuff clouds your mind and then you start to change to a different person. So I tell you this, being the strong friend, I want you to not do that. Like, I want you to be vocal in saying, listen, today I just can't. Like, I need help just as much as you need help. I cannot, thank you for crying on my shoulder, but is your shoulder one that I can cry on to when I need it? I need you to have these honest conversations with yourself, okay? And I wholeheartedly believe that that strong woman syndrome, or whatever you want to call it, it comes from how I watched my mom operate. A single mom navigating the world with 2 kids, learning herself, learning how to be a parent, all this stuff is like new. So I think she also felt like, I don't need to cry in front of these kids. These kids can't help me with my problems, But I think when you do cry, when you show that side of you, when you ask for help, it helps to truly find your tribe and to be a part of a community that is all about supporting and encouraging people in hard times, because again, like today you may need me and tomorrow I may need you. And I feel that had my mom would have been vocal about the things that she was going through and how hard it truly was, I think she would have found the right people, and I think it would have helped her her health overall, because she was just assuming that it was perfectly fine to carry and bear the weight of herself, of everyone, and not thinking that it was going to cause any harm to her. But it did. It ended up causing her, her health. It ended up causing her to lose a lot. So I say this to say, being the strong friend, although that is a honorable title, a noble title, whatever you may want to call it, do not let being the strong friend stop you from being open to receiving help, stopping you from being your authentic self, and stopping you from growing. Because, no man is an island. You need community. You need people. You cannot always be the encourager. Sometimes you need a word of encouragement from others, I think it just kind of like, again, always goes along with all these little things that I say here and there, you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you're feeling depleted, I need you to reach out to people and tell them you're feeling depleted. And that's why I love my family so much, because they are so open to helping. They're so open to being resourceful, So Yeah. The strong friend title, I am abandoning that. Being the strong woman, I am abandoning that. I want to live a life of ease. I want to live a life where I don't have to be angry. I want to live a life where I don't have to show up strong all the time. I know I'm resilient, but today I don't want to be resilient. I don't want to be strong. I don't want to show that I can do it. You know, I just want, help me out, please. Help me out. If this is something that you struggled with, put it down in the comment section below. How did you manage to get through being the strong friend? Have you ever opened up to people? Was that something that was encouraged? Is it a cultural thing? You know, let's talk about it, because I really want us to break like these habits and these generational curses of passing on trauma and passing on the strength. And, you know, I want us to just be able to be ourselves, be open, and just honestly allowing the pride and the ego to kind of come down when it's needed, and just realizing that, listen, we all need it at some point in our life. We all going to need it. So yeah, till next time, work on yourselves, love yourself, heal through the process and whatever you're going through, and take time to get to know you. So see y'all on the next video.